folks. I'm just coming on for a moment. What you're seeing behind us, this is just from this past Monday. We had so many projects in the works, things we're doing. I'm working on selling this home. Time is moving on. We all have to move fast in order to bring about the dream of love, the government of love, the truth that love can bring to our country by Americans from the bottom up. It's so real. It's what we all want. And I was sharing that message of love. You better believe that, my fellow Americans, Orlandoans. We need to come together based on our love. There ain't gonna be no other reason why we come together in a system of greed, folks. It's greed that takes everything, and it's the love that gives back. Never deny, never. Just know the truth of it and respond to that truth. It's a great truth that we all need to respond to. So here it is. This is Mayor Demings. How are you, Mayor Demings? We are going to have, and I wanted to let you know this evening at 9 p.m., we're going to have a program I want you to tune in for. It will be worth the time, I assure you of that. We have been working on this program now since yesterday, and it's important. Mayor Demings, should you get this message, and I hope you do, and I will seek that you do, sir, that you also watch it, because it's a great message. I appreciate you are taking time to talk to me the other evening, and we just do that in this campaign. We do the same thing with our supporters. I love it. I like the way you treat your supporters, sir. I think we could do so much even in this town together. As your next president, I can tell you this promise right now, Mayor Demings. Should I win, I'll be spending time in this town, Orlando, Florida. We're gonna put Orlando, Florida on the map. In terms of presidential politics, we are going to put the city of Orlando on the map, Mayor Demings. What that means for our city, I'm sure you know. It will be a great thing. And especially from your happy healer for president, I live in a magical world, sir. And I intend, and my supporters want, for instead of me, which I would never, come out of my magical world into the hateful world that we see, I would never allow that to happen to me, sir. I care about and love too much all of my neighbors, all of my compatriots, fellow Americans. I am running as a Democrat, but I am more than anything just an American who loves, and a humble American, and I'm your happy healer, love. And I say put that above all else. I'm running as a Democrat because I want to win. I want to win so that we can make the dream happen. I'm not your condescending candidate, and I remind folks of that because I don't win based on a condescending agenda. That's not my agenda. That's not how the people's candidate ever has a way to win up to the top office. No sirree. It happens through love and through truth and through having a superior plan for the people that can get behind that shows that humility and love has a chance in this country. Mayor Demings, that is what I am doing, your happy healer for president, sir. And my website, that is so far along compared to these other candidates who are not sharing themselves at all, I contend. You don't know who they are, even if you thought you did. They don't share anything. Media in the 21st century allows for us to share everything. As your happy healer for president, that is precisely what I do, and I am proud to do that. In doing that, I progress my candidacy and grow. We show what we're made of, and I live the life I have always lived, and I am proud of that life, sir. I am proud of that. I have helped people right here in this town. I've got no awards for it. It doesn't count for anything except for those people, the people to whom I have helped and changed their lives. And it matters to me and our Maker, and it matters to the overall American spirit in the way that I've touched it. Should all of us touch the American spirit the way your happy healer does, we will make that American spirit so much better, so much brighter, so much more ready for a positive day in America. So I say today, humbly so I say today, it's this day. I plead, how much more time do we have to get the obvious truth right? How much time? You want to make this city great? I want to make it great. I want to make our whole country to come out of the abyss. It seems to headed for fate, the abyss. We can pull back from that abyss and change our fate. If so, that was our fate. That's insanity. And the people are running headlong towards insanity. It's causing us to lose in ways that we can't even calculate fully, that we're selling off our future. People are having to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs in some cases, and most families, both parents working. What happened to the 50s when the promise was when the technological age comes, we can go from working 1 parent to 0, and finally then we can work on our salvation, on our human fate, on our humanity. And then you wonder, Mayor Demings, I live in a black neighborhood and I'm proud of that fact. I lived here since 2006. How do we deal with racism? And by the way, it's getting worse, not better, partly because the American spirit is so sick. We have bigotry. And I'm a gay man, and I've felt this stuff, and I'm humble in all of these truths. I just know what the right answer is. And if we don't get around to doing this stuff, we're going to pay in the worst ways, and that's what I fear. That's what I fear, sir. That's why I'm running. And more than fear anything, I believe in the American people. I believe in their greatness, in the American exceptionalism that built this country. I believe in all of that. I know what it's capable of doing. I put my stock and faith in that belief because I've seen what it can do. I've seen my father build. I've seen the American people build. After 9/11, I've seen them come together. I am a 40-year-old man this year, turning 41. God has been so good to me, and I love God, and I'm not a rich man. I feel that love based off of who I am, based off of who you are, based off of what this world is, the truths in this world. Despite all of our problems, we have the ability now, the unique ability to come together in a unity and to unite the Democratic Party around a stable, sane individual who can beat Trump, who's got the goods to beat Trump, and who can, more than that, can unite our country around love and can think about this, my fellow Democrats. We can actually move forward with the help of Trump folks, a progressive agenda, so much more progressive than any of these current candidates are looking at because they use hate. And your happy healer, we use love, and the facts already speak for themselves. Our supporters already number in half of them being Trump supporters. I myself voted for Donald Trump because I've seen this wisdom from so long ago. My vision has always been so clear because I don't spend time hating. I just love. There's no reason to hate unless you want a biased vision that is not reflective of the truth. It doesn't help anybody, and you'll never be able to speak to the honest broker of truth like I'm about to do now. And you know who your honest broker of truth is. It's in each of us. It's that undying realization to the core of our being. We know that if we should ever so see that truth, that will take care of and atone to an appendage all of these lies we have seen just having their own way, that even though we ourselves in many cases run to this corner, run to that corner, those corners are the wrong corners because they leave out other Americans who matter. And in this campaign, we are the True Humanity campaign. Every person has value, truth, and they have a life worth living. That's what we are fighting for. Realize your value, the purpose that you have in this earth. We are working in this campaign to realize that purpose is seen, respected, that you are loved, and that you can grow in a country that is making an American dream possible again. After all this greed and the damage that it's done, that we're able to actually rebuild from that. And there's a lot to rebuild from. And so again, this is from the other evening. Tonight we have a great program coming up. It's going to be at 9 p.m. It's going to be showing you the live coverage of me announcing right here in person to Mayor Demings. So Mayor Demings, if you're watching this, thank you, sir. Your staff, everybody there was just terrific. I love it. And I'm so happy that I'm in this town to be with you guys and girls and wonderful people. And a moment ago, I just said I live in a black neighborhood myself. I've been here since 2006. I see that the class warfare is so desperate to me and my neighbors, and that the desperation from the bigotry, for example, with the gay issues we have in this country, that LGBTQ community has been having it so rough. So just by having a gay candidate win and have Trump supporters is so progressive in its own right. That's right. And then, of course, with our black neighbors. And we're not going to be able to resolve these issues of racism and bigotry if, on one hand, we recognize that we need a higher human level. We have to have a human enlightenment. We have to have a spirit at all. Right now, it seems so dead. And how are we ever going to address such deep human problems, such as bigotry and racism, when it's going more rampant, when it's getting worse, if we do not have the courage to point at what's causing it all? And Jerry, Mayor Demings, I humbly say I know precisely what's causing it all, and it's the greed in our system. And the way to atone that, sir, is not to steal wealth from anyone. People get scared of that, don't they? We're going to build a whole new wealth, and it's in my campaign, and we have a system that will work. But aside from that, the way to do that is to put people first and to recognize that we have to take humanity and to put it on a pedestal. And legally to do that and to say that humanity matters and to actually have it matter and mean something, we have to put humanity over capitalism so that we can say now it's true, before it wasn't, that every man, woman, and child in America comes before a dollar, but now it's true because we will take care of your health care. That is right. We do full health care, including dental, and we do all medical. We don't hold back because this is people who matter, and we have got the ability, and we are growing a new technological age and developing a system that's going far beyond all of this. We can't think small and still solve our large problems. We are well overdue to have to take care of our people, and when we do, we have a brand new American morale. Trust in your happy healer in this, and that is why, and I always contend, this country needs a happy healer. That's right. A proud and bold, God-loving and God-fearing just man that looks into the light of love and says, I have arrived. I love. I know you do too. Let's come together. Let's make a better situation out of this, or we will all suffer together then instead. So Mayor Demings, here you are, sir. I made your biography here, sir. And your fine picture, sir. What a good-looking gentleman. Is not Orlando so lucky? And I'll be working with my local representatives right here just to bring about great times in our city, because we all have to do that. If I'm so fortunate enough to become the President of the United States of America, I know that each and every one of us will have so much work to do in our home communities to really do the work that people have for so long been ignoring, that presidents have been ignoring, and that they like to build their own lives up instead of actually serve. And in this candidacy, we plan on actually serving. So I will be here in this community, and I will be around in your communities. I will be filling my role as the president in every way possible, inspiring. I say, and I do it all the time, I will not just be your commander-in-chief, I will also be your inspirer-in-chief, and we need one of those too. And so, Mayor Demings, thank you for watching, and please tune in this evening. You're on the cast, and it's going to be at 9 p.m. I just wanted to notify you, beautiful boys and girls, and just remember, love your family, love each other, and realize, I just said it best, boys and girls, at the heart of it, we are children. That's the part of us that came into this world loving. We had dreams. Dreams. We just want to dream. And they take the dream away. And it's not right. We should be able to dream. And we should be able to love. And we should be able to do all of the things that you see your happy healer do openly and proudly all the time. That's the kind of president that I contend we need. If we fail to have that, what happens is I go back to my happy healer life just like I have always been, serving humanity in the best possible ways that I know how, serving to the deepest aspects of my soul. That's how the feedback loop system in love works. Greed can only take. Remember, greed is a taking force. Love is a giving force. Love is a supplying force. Love supplies and builds and creates everything for that matter. And greed, the only way it can ever suffice is if it steals. The fact that anybody uses greed at all is just a proof that they have no trust and no faith in God's plan. God's plan is the real truth around us. We see it springing up all the time. We see it happening in the nature of reality. We see God's plan and then we discount it. We don't have trust in it. We feel God's love. We know it in our heart from when we were children, and then we pound it out of ourselves and we run straight to greed and say, doggy dog world works better. I'm going to take it before you can get it. Therefore, I know I have it. Me and mine, we're all set. But you and yours, I don't care. And that's how we're doing things in the greedy system. And that, quite frankly, is not good enough in the year 2019, and that's in God's world. That's a truth we all have to recognize. Otherwise, we will continue to lose in the most profane ways. I say profane, that doesn't have to be that way. And here's what these folks are doing when they choose to go with greed over love and supplying for the least of these and supplying for all of these. Here's what the difference is, my fellow Americans. Instead, those greedy folks, they have what they have, their sustenance in their homes and their ability to do what they need to do in life. They failed to realize that whatever it is they have in the system of greed that they think and owe everything to in their own minds. I have friends that say they are their money, and I get offended by that. Folks, you are not your money. You have real purpose and value that's far beyond money. Saying that is how folks, when they lose their money, like in the case of Enron, then they kill themselves. That's absurd. We can't have people thinking that they are their money. Money is a tool. We have to get serious about love being our greatest asset, that we have that ability to transcend lies and our own predicaments with love and care. And greed says don't care. Greed says mock. And I just laugh. You try to mock my faith. My faith holds through every time. That's what makes me the happy healer. I've already experienced death on several occasions in my own view, so I don't see the problems you see. I see the real ones. I call them out because they will be all of our undoing. And in that process, I will always remain humble to the truth and the task of love, because that's the only thing that ever gives. And that it's the only creator, like I had said just a moment ago, and that we have the greed taking from it. So that is so important to recognize. When we see the problems, these guys, they think they have more. They think that because of the greed, they have it all, perhaps. That if it wasn't for greed, they'd be without, but they are wrong. And that if they didn't do greed, not only would their lives be so much better, and there'd be so many more people to the party, but that it's our lovers who die first. The people who don't want to participate in the greed. The people who are like Einstein in their brilliance and their creativity, that they make can do everything. They do it for humanity. They don't do it for bad reasons or for greedy purposes. They do it to give back and to be loved and to love. That is our greatest currency, I contend, is your happy healer. That is what makes me most, not least, most qualified to be the next president of this country is my care, my love, my humility, coupled with my experiences, the perceptions I have had through this life, the fact that for whatever reasons, God has made me a progressive force for the candidacy of president of the United States of America. And for me to ignore that, knowing that this country can use that great gift right now, because if not, who else is supplying these avenues for us? No one! That's a travesty. Nobody is providing the way forward for us. Instead, they just provoke more of that Civil War stuff, that insanity. That's going to be all of our undoing. They do that instead. It's scary. And that not one other presidential candidate running for the presidency of the United States of America offers our people unity, peace, and love. And I want you to think about that for a moment. Not one of them. Nobody on the Democratic side. Nobody. We know Trump. He wins in hate. That's where he wins the most. That's why we need to put our happy, humble healer up to the Donald Trump of whatever and whomever he's always been. It's been a greedy person, and we know that he wins in that hate and greed. We know that fine line between love and hate, and we know that the people, my friends, have a hard time getting pure because of greed's awful take on humanity, and that's why we got to step back from that. It's killing our society. It makes things like taking care of racism and bigotry impossible to deal with, but yet the people in this broken, greedy society expect that stuff has to get done. I agree, but it will never get done in this system of greed. You can't justify all the wrong in greed and then say we need to be better over here. It doesn't sound right. Again, it's just getting back to that honest broker of truth. It's just like how Republicans talk about, well, we have to take care of people, but it's okay after you're born to let you die from not having health care. It doesn't matter that I was able to help you. I had the finances to do so. We live in the greatest country in the world in terms of our wealth, but yet we say no to our own people. We say go die on the streets, and yet we say we love God. We have to be careful about that, I say. It's wrong. And that how can you say babies matter? Because your happy healer is a child at heart. I love, that makes me innocent. And everybody who goes on that dream and loves with all their heart, they gain their innocence back, and they lose the part of them that judges and the part of them that is so hateful and makes their blood boil every time they hear about a certain something. That gives me the clarity that so many don't have because of their biases. It makes them weaker. I was saying, and I don't know, Mayor, I was saying to your staff, and I was even saying at the time, if I really tried to talk about this stuff during that little town hall, there is so many aspects to my candidacy, to the things that we're fighting for, the kinds of problems we're prepared to resolve for our people. Otherwise, we're going to miss a very important cue. God is putting there for us the ability for somebody from the bottom, someone just like me, Mayor. All due respect, your humble and happy healer here has a path to victory. I say respect that, and we can win Trump. I'm bold in that moment. I am bold, and we'll take the Trump people with us. That will all but guarantee our victory. Think about that. And I already have them with me now, many of them. And remember, what is true at this level will only remain more true. And we get to unite this country. Think about that. So that's why I want to have a discussion with you, Mayor. I want you to enjoy this program this evening. I had you in mind when we put it together. There is a lot of heart that goes into this, but remember, in your Happy Healer for President's candidacy, it will always be so much heart. It will never stop being so much heart because we care and because that's how we solve problems in a real way, and that we were always real in our intent, sir. That's why I told you that day. Please, sir, I am a humble man, sir. Just respect my candidacy and give it a shot. I assure you, if I get a fair handshake, I will make my own candidacy relevant. We will win. I will show you, sir. And I will show the other candidates that I will gain their respect. I will earn it. And if that should fail, I will demand it through the love and brains and intellect our Creator has given me, your Happy Healer for President, sir. So you are in good shape when you are on this campaign and you are working for the same forces that we are working for. You don't have enemies because we love all and we are taking on the challenges that affect us all. And that is what we are doing in this campaign. We are focused. I'll see you guys here at 9 p.m. with Mayor Demings. God bless you. God bless your families too. God bless everybody. Take care of your families. Let's work hard. If you are just new to this campaign, consider helping out. We're right here in Orlando, and I plan on going to Iowa. I'm working on selling my home. I'm making every sacrifice I can to see this dream through. I personally feel if we don't do this, we're going to lose this ability. God has made a path, and I said that should someone like me step into the Democratic Party at this time and that they possess the pizzazz and the ability to speak, that they can get the right plan that is right for the people, that they can speak the truth, that they can unite this country based on love. Nobody's got to be the enemy, that we can do all of this and so much more and have a better life because of it, that we can usher in a new technological age instead of see China steal it out from under us, that we can address the global warming issues with that technological age and nuclear proliferation and the over 10 other human crises that we developed ourselves and must solve ourselves, that God has given us the ability through love is such a powerful force, and that if we don't tap in to the ability to use that force now, we will forever be sorry because our window of opportunity is now. That is our God. That is the truth that I see. People say, do we live in a fair world? I said, when God shows you that kind of truth, He gives you the tools. He gives you the choice. That choice is where the greed is rooted from. So you choose to be greedy in your own life. You know then and therefore that is a battle within. We are all fighting that battle within, but that when we see love winning, if we were to ever expect to approach this battle with a winning mind as well as a winning heart, we know that we have to bring to that battle then the care that wins a human condition. Just like the human condition that's killing it is greed, we bring in a stronger human condition, love. And love works. Love is going to work so good against that greed as it has for your Happy Healer. It will do for so many before, as it has for many other Happy Healers we have helped walk off that ledge, and instead of choosing death, to choose life, to choose hope, to see in their own mind, in their own mind's eye, a life worth living. A life worth having. That's the gift of happy healing. We'll see you tonight at 9 p.m.